I will give a bit of a warning that Kathrine's speech does deal with some adult content on the subject of human trafficking. And so if anyone feels that they may be uncomfortable with this content, you're welcome to step out and we'll invite you back in. But without further ado, I will also introduce her. Kathrine was born in, you can come up with me and hear the things I have to say about you. She was born in New Westminster, BC. She's lived globally, including in Chile, South America, where she got to touch the South Pole with her toe. Her major treat is parachuting and hang gliding. She's an activist by passion and has involved herself with the Women to End Poverty. She also participates with various programs offered by the Women's Centre, such as a quilting exposition and several workshops related to the poor. Her hope is simply to get a job, hint, hint, in a public person forum, and so she writes in her bio, "Let's talk."
Speak away.
Thank you. Give me a second here, folks. And my first comment is I'd like to thank the Magpie Treasure Talks for having me here and for letting me voice something that I take very, very, very deep to my heart. Hello, my name is Petra from Poland. Hello, my name is Sun Lee from Japan. Hello, my name is Maria from Argentina. Hello, my name is Sandra from Canada. The sad truth is my name doesn't matter. They are all interchangeable. I could come from anywhere. The statistics show yearly that over 1 million women and children, both boys and girls, are sold and tricked to become sex slaves in the insidious world of human trafficking. If you think being Canadian saves you, think again. It can happen to you too. Tonight, to stress the urgency of their plight, I'm going to try and tell their story through one girl's eyes. And I got to thinking last night that in order for you to get impact from this, I'd like you to close your eyes for the next minute or two and maybe get a feeling of what one of these girls go through. Thank you. And I was going to try doing a Polish accent, but I'm sorry, just not going to work. I was living in a small village in Poland. My village was poor with no job prospects to help not just myself, but my family as well. Like any young girl, I had hopes and dreams for the future. One day there was an advertisement in our local newspaper looking for nannies in America. The destination is important. It could have been anywhere. After talking it over with my parents, and with their blessing, I answered the advertisement. I thought I was the luckiest girl alive when I was hired immediately. I never felt such joy and promise. I believed I would have a great life and be somebody. When I arrived at my destination, my nightmare began. I was stripped of my passport and told I couldn't go anywhere without it. If I did, I was told I would spend many years in jail. It was then I felt a deep-seated sense of dread and fear. This was realized when I was not taken to the parents I was expecting to meet, but instead to a warehouse with other young girls. It was there I discovered my fate. A man came out and told us how expensive it was for my fare, and I would have to repay it by servicing his clientele. We were all stripped naked and told to put on a sheer blouse, a thong, and high heels. I have never felt such humiliation. My next journey was to another location where, to my shock, were 6 men waiting for me. What they did to me was unspeakable. I was forced on my knees and was raped in my mouth while they watched and waited for their turn. My humiliation became absolute. I had prayed my ordeal would be over and begged them to stop. They only just laughed at me, and the real pain began. They then, for the next several hours, repeatedly raped my mouth, my vagina, and my bottom. I was able to rest a little, but the ordeal started over again. It was then I felt myself hide inside my mind. I was numb. I couldn't breathe. I felt my soul die. I felt like dying. My mind shattered into a million pieces, and I felt all my inner core, soul, and spirit leave my body. I wished for the first time I was either dead or invisible. This continued in other ways. They told me all I was is a vessel for any man's pleasure. When I tried to fight back, I was beaten. I wished I was invisible. I was able to escape and get to a phone. The problem was, I couldn't speak the language. I was helpless. My efforts were for naught. I was caught again and beaten. It was then the despair settled in. I knew then I was completely trapped, and never could I leave this place. I would die here. I would be ashamed to see my family again, as if. Nor would I know of the good things I missed out on. I had wished to be invisible, and now I truly was. My real name is Kathrine Carafa. I plead with each and every one of you to put in an effort, big or small, to fight this travesty. My dream tonight is to bring attention so we may able to save young girls and boys from living a life no person should experience. To get a truer picture of what goes on in this world, I urge you to watch 2 movies. Although they are dramatizations, you still get a real sense as to what occurs in this world. My first inspiration was called Human Trafficking with Mina Sorvino and Donald Sutherland. This movie focuses on the business and recruitment tactics used by these monsters, and their treatment of their victims is implied, but no less significant. The second movie is called Taken with Liam Neeson. This movie shows the actual violence in all its repugnant glory. I implore you to watch these movies because I believe you would be shaken to your core and your outrage would be complete. These 2 movies should be part of a grade 12 guidance class to show our young people what to watch out for and to steer them away from it. This should not only occur in North America, but also on a global level. We may not be able to save them all, but I believe we can put a huge dent simply by watching these 2 movies. Be aware that we cannot stop parents from selling their children. That too is a reality, and the only way we can stop this is to levy some serious league-heavy fines on these people or put them in jail for life. Another way to help is an organization called Servants Anonymous. They help prostitutes and human trafficked women. I just heard of this organization, so please do your research. I've been told by my facilitator, Ellen, if you can come up for a second, please, Ellen.
Sure.
Thank you. They can be reached at www.servantsanon.com. This is the only service available locally that I know of. And Ellen, if you can help out with maybe like funding and stuff like that, and just do your little blurb like you did last night, I would appreciate it. Now, please.
Now, yes. Okay, so what I've read in my limited research is that Servants Anonymous runs it's called the Safe House, so Servants Anonymous Facilitated Exit. And so it's a program for Calgarian women who have been involved in the sex trade or human trafficked as a way to exit the sex trade and start a new life. This program was funded by the provincial government, but all of their funding has been cut. And it seems like the most recent development is another donor has stepped up with some of the funding, and so they're looking for further support to continue. So that was something that we talked about as a program that exists locally to help out with this issue.
Thank you. And I got one last little blurb here. Where are you? And I thank you for your time and your hearts, and good evening.